On a spring afternoon in 1883, a young woman named Sarah tidied up her farmhouse in a tiny settlement called Eagle Creek in Arizona. While Sarah cleaned, her sister Elizabeth took a bucket outside to get water from their outdoor spring. So Sarah and Elizabeth actually lived together in this farmhouse along with their respective families. The American West at this time was sparsely populated and dangerous, so it was not uncommon for families to kind of band together like this. And so on this day, as Elizabeth was out getting water, when all of a sudden, the family's dogs began barking really aggressively, and she quickly went outside onto the porch to see what the dogs were barking at. She suddenly saw this massive four-legged creature with red fur, and its back was all twisted up, and on the back of this creature was this man. His face was horrible and sunken, and his mouth was in this huge grin. Instinctively, she just turned, bolted inside the house, barricaded the door with the kitchen table, and then rounded up the four kids and sat in the kitchen, huddled over them. But as she was doing this, Sarah suddenly heard this blood-curdling scream come from somewhere outside. Her sister was out there getting water. That scream almost certainly came from her sister. Her and Elizabeth's husbands. They had come back from herding the sheep, and they're calling into her like, hey, what's going on here? Let us in. And so the two husbands are immediately so concerned. They have no idea about the validity of the story, but Elizabeth is gone. They have to go find her. As they're calling out for Elizabeth and not getting a response, they just took off running. And as they turned the corner and they finally saw the spring, they also saw Elizabeth. She was dead. And so as Elizabeth's husband wept over Elizabeth's body, Sarah's husband rode off into town to get the local coroner to come out and investigate. When he examined the hoof prints that were all over the place, they were way too big to be a horse's hoof print. A decade after Elizabeth's death, this farmer happened to look out his window, and there, standing in his turnip patch, was the so-called red ghost. He grabbed his rifle and he fired, and the red ghost crumpled to the ground right in the middle of the turnip patch. It would turn out the red ghost was not the devil riding some supernatural monster. Instead, the red ghost had red fur, a long neck, and a humped back. It was a camel. But this camel alone was not responsible for scaring the people of Arizona. What terrified the people of Arizona and created the legend of the red ghost was the rider of the camel. There was a person on the back of that camel. The devil on the back of the camel was a man's decomposing corpse. And because he was a decomposing corpse, his flesh and eyes had rotted from his face. We don't know who this man was or how exactly he died. All we know is he was riding this camel escaped, and then this camel just roamed around Arizona for years with this corpse on its back.